Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video we have another palette review. This time we are reviewing a very fancy palette. I fell in love with this Dolce & Gabbana palette ever since I saw it on the Trend Mood post. I saw the swatches of it. I was like, wait a minute, that looks vibrant, it looks pigmented, it looks like the glitters are going to show up beautifully. And I have never been so intrigued to try anything Dolce & Gabbana. In fact, I did not have any Dolce & Gabbana in my makeup collection at all until I saw and fell in love with this palette. If by the end of the video you are interested in the palette too, I do have the link down below in the description box, so definitely grab it from there. In today's video, I'm of course going to be showing you the palette, we'll talk about the swatches, we'll talk about the formula, and I'll do a couple of eyeshadow looks to see if it truly performs in the way that I expected to perform. So with that said, let's just go ahead and get started. I have two items that I'll be showing you guys today. Obviously the Dolce & Gabbana I Dare You eyeshadow palette. It says it's a multi-finish eyes and cheek palette. This one is made in Italy, and here's what the outside packaging looks like. Here's the way that the shadows are set up and their name, and it looks like there's something else in there besides the palette. There's like a chain or something. So we'll open this in a second, but besides that I also ordered one of the eyeliners that came out with the palette. This is the Dolce & Gabbana That's My Line eyeliner. It's a 24-hour lasting waterproof eyeliner made in Korea, and I got mine in the shade 02 LMK, let me know I guess. So I'm very excited to try this one as well. I just got my hair out of my way. I didn't have any clips nearby, so excuse my brush up there. Anyways, let's open this palette up and see what it is all about. I have not seen it. I always wait to review things so that we can see it at the same time. Oh no. Okay, so the first thing I see when I open the palette is specks of blue. That means my palette might be broken. In fact, I'm like 99.9% sure. That is so upsetting. Hold on, let me put down some paper towel. I don't want things to go flying everywhere. Here's the chain I was talking about, which is covered in that blue glittery eyeshadow shade. And here's the palette. I am so upset that it's everywhere. It's definitely very, very broken. I just opened it for the first time, and here's what it looks like. We are missing the entire shade. There's no way of reconstructing that. I had hoped that we could like press it back together, but it is fully out of the pan. And I can't even pick up the pieces because they are scattered everywhere. I'm going to clean this up. Let me just take a minute for myself, and I'll be back. We will of course still do today's video. I'm going to try the rest of the shades in the palette and then hopefully ask for another palette to be sent my way. I'm hoping their customer service is good. We'll see, because obviously this is unacceptable. I cleaned this mess as well as I could, and the good news is that even though I have a shade that is fully missing, we do still get to try that formula because the shade right next to it, this one here, seems to be the same formula as the blue shade that fell. Also, as I was cleaning the palette, I noticed that the palette is not all mattes, it's not all powder shades. This shade right down here, it looks messy because there's a little bit of blue in it still, but this seems to be a cream black shade. So let me show you what the palette looks like up front. Excuse that mine isn't like, you know, untouched because I just had to do a whole lot of touching, and it's got some glitter in it still. Here it is, and then once you open it, it's got a large mirror on this side, and here are the shades, you know, excluding that blue one. It also comes with this chain accessory right here. In some pictures I saw people were like hanging the palette to like the outside of their purses. That seems very bulky to me, but you do get the chain accessory. And also, seeing as this palette seems to be delicate, at least that blue shade, it seems risky to keep a palette on the outside of your purse where it could get hit by anything. Anyways, let's get started with the swatches, and I'm going to swatch it like that. So I'm going to start with these 2 shades, and then these 3, and then these 2, and so on and so forth. This first color is called Skimming right here, which is a matte nude. Then we have Slick, which is a shimmer gold. Very reflective and pigmented. So far, so good. Unapologetic is a matte taupe, and then we have the shade Impulsive, which is a melange bronze. Looks more like a peach with gold reflex to me, but they are describing it as a bronzy shade. It is the shade that you have to kind of swirl together to get the color. It's very pretty. I actually prefer it to be this peach with gold sparkles than a bronze shade. Then we have the shade Spoiled, which is a matte pink. These matte are pigmented. Outrageous is a glitter silver shade. And this next one is the one that I think is the same formula as the shade that broke. It's called Reckless, and it is a multi-chrome purple shade. That looks insanely beautiful. I love how reflective these shades are for sure. Wanted is the gel black formula, and then this is the broken color. I think I might have gotten enough to be able to swatch it. We'll see. It is called Shameless, and it is a multi-chrome blue. Oh my god, that might have just been enough because it's super pigmented. I literally grabbed that from the corner of the pan. Then we have the shade Fearless, which is a matte lilac color. And then the last 2 shades are Scandalous, which is a matte blue, and Provocative, which is a matte dark purple shade. Take a look right there at how beautifully this palette swatches. I didn't have to build any of these shades. These were all swatched with whatever amount of product I got on my finger from the pan, including this blue here, which was barely any product. So far so good. I actually am pretty impressed with how pigmented these shades are. As I said, I did not have any Dolce & Gabbana makeup in my collection, so I have no idea of what the formulations of things could be like. I'm impressed so far. The formulas seem beautiful. The packaging is okay. I'm not impressed by the packaging, but it's good. And I really like this color story. It's colorful, but at the same time, I feel like it can be very, very beautiful and wearable. I'm impressed that the multi-chromes and the glitters are as intense as they are. Again, so far so good, except for my broken shade. So let's create a couple of eye looks and see how the palette performs on the eyes. To begin the first eyeshadow look, I'm going to use my Rephr number 15 and this shade up here called Scheming. And this is going to be my transition color. This shade honestly seems like the perfect color to transition with. It's got a bit of rose in it, a bit of peach in it, and it's not too dark, so just back and forth we are blending it, and as you can see, it is blending very, very easily. A little bit more and just back and forth blend. With my Rephr number 1, I'm going to intensify things a bit. I think I'm going to go for this shade right here. This one is called Fearless. It's like a lilac purple type shade, and I'm going to tap it on the outer V of the eye, and then with the tip of my brush, just blend it up into the crease. A little more, just building, 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 and then I'm blending it. I'm going to intensify things a bit more with the dark purple shade, and just lightly press it on the outer third of my eyelid. I'm using the same Rephr number 1 brush, and I'm blending it into the rest of the shades. Back with the number 15, nothing added, I'm just buffing everything into each other. Rephr number 3 in the dark purple shade once again, and I'm going to smoke out my lower lash line with it. I'm adding it around halfway through my under eye, and then I'm going to blend that out with the transition shade we used, which is the shade Scheming, and I'm going to blend this one all the way to the tear duct area. The one thing I'm noticing about the matte shades that might be bothersome to some people is that they are a bit powdery, like that you do get a bit of kick up when you put your brush to it, so keep that in mind, but honestly they are performing beautifully. I think I want to use this silver shimmer here, And so with my finger, I'm just going to tap it into my eyelid. I think maybe it has a bit of the blue from the broken shade in it. I'm not sure if it's that the silver is supposed to have a bit of blue in it or that my blue just got in the silver. Either way, it looks beautiful, but just keep that in mind. I grabbed a little bit more of that silver shade on a flat brush just so that it blends nicely into my mattes back here. So I'm just patting some more of that shimmer in place. And back with the Rephr number 1, just tapping over the edge of the shimmer so that we get as smooth of a transition as we could possibly get. With a small flat brush from Rephr, I'm grabbing this gold shade here. This one is called Slick. And this is going to be the shade on the innermost part of my eye, as well as the inner corner. So here's the look before any mascara or any eyeliner, and I'm very surprised to say that like there's barely, if any, fallout under my eye, so also impressed by that. Before I finish up this look, let's go ahead and do a second look over on this eye. And I think I want to start by using this black gel base right here. I'm going to use the new B03 from Rephr for the gel. And I'm going to add it right here on the outer part of my eyelid. Just stamping it in place, patting that color all throughout. And then with the tip of this brush, I'm just going to diffuse the top edge of where I placed it. Back with my Rephr number 15, I'm going to use the same transition. Yeah, I'm going to use the same transition shade as for the first look. And I'm going to blend it all throughout my crease. Rephr number 1 and the shade Unapologetic. And I'm going to add this one to the outer V of the eye back here. Blend it into that transition shade. And if you see those little specks of glitter around my eye, it's because my palette came broken. It won't happen to you unless your palette comes broken. Because those little specks of glitter were in the gel shade, the black shade, and I couldn't get rid of them completely. Adding a little bit more of that taupe matte color back here, and I'm going to just make sure it blends nicely into my crease color. I think I want to use this swirly shade in the center of the eyelid. This one's called Impulsive. And so with my finger, I'm just going to tap it here, center of the eyelid, and leaving a space on the inner part of the eyelid for a different color. Since I don't have another glitter shade and I already used these two and that one, I'm just going to use this one on the inner part of my eyelid. So this is the shade Slick, which is a light gold shade, and I'm using it with the Rephr number 2, and I'm patting it all throughout the inner half of the eyelid area. Also using it on the inner corner. Rephr number 3 in the gel black shade, and I'm going to back and forth smudge it in between my lower lashes all the way to the tear duct area. And with the transition color and the Rephr number 13, I am going to smoke that out back and forth all throughout. I did get a bit more fallout with the second eye look than I did the first. I don't know where exactly it came from though, because I feel like I used the most glittery shade over here. But anyways, take a look right there. So I would be careful with some of these shades when it comes to the fallout. Let me finish up these looks by putting some eyeliner in the waterline. For the first look, I'm going with a pastel purple from Glossier. And for the second look, I'm going for a creamy shade. This one is from Charlotte Tilbury. Let me put some mascara on and also some lashes because I feel like this needs to look glamorous. And I'll be back to show you the final results. Back with mascara and with lashes on. I'll show you both finished looks in a second, but before I do, I am finishing things up. This is Silky Rose from Gucci, which is one of my favorite blushes. And I thought this color would go well with both eyeshadow looks. Muted Mauve lip liner from Anastasia and Dahlia from Ravi Beauty over that lip liner. Now that I'm fully done, take a look right here at the finished eye looks with this Dolce & Gabbana palette. I'm very impressed at how glittery the shades were, and also the mattes were beautiful. They blended very nicely into one another. I really love and appreciate a color story like the one this palette has in it. The one thing I wanted to say about the packaging, I don't hate the design of it or anything. It's okay. I also don't love it. I'm not obsessed with it. But the plastic feels cheaper, for example, just to like compare it to something, than when you get a Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette. This is not like that luxurious hard plastic, but it also doesn't look super cheap. So it's kind of like an in the middle situation there. Obviously, I'm disappointed at the fact that my palette came broken, but hopefully that problem can be solved very easily, and hopefully they'll send me another palette that won't break in transit. The way I completely forgot to test out this eyeliner is incredible to me. I'm going to blame it on the pregnancy brain and the fact that my broken palette was very distracting. And I did already finish both eye looks, as you can see, but I'm going to use it. I'm going to use it at least on one of these eye looks to test out the formula. Here is what the actual packaging of the eyeliner looks like. And let's go ahead and swatch. Ooh, it's so creamy. The color is creamy, the eyeliner is pigmented, but it's like a very beautiful baby blue eyeliner color. I'm thinking we'll put it on this eye. I'll do a half wing with it. Starting in the center, we're doing a line going outwards, pulling it up here, and then we connect. Going back to intensify the color a bit. I think because it's a pastel shade, I am having to go back and really try and build it. So I'm not impressed so far with this eyeliner. Alright, I think I got that to work. Actually, that looks beautiful. It took a bit of building is all I'm going to say. We did get the end result that we wanted, but I'm not as impressed with the eyeliner as I have been with the eyeshadow palette. Anyways, here is the finished look now, with this baby blue winged half liner on. I really love the way it came out. It just was a bit of an effort in my opinion, but it is very pretty. So let's keep going with what I already recorded. If you liked today's video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up before you leave. This was a bit different. I've never reviewed Dolce & Gabbana before, but I was pleasantly surprised at the outcome. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already. If you're interested in the palette, check out the link I'm leaving you down below in the description box. And that is all I have for today's video. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye!